All those green and red numbers scrolling around the building. But behind those numbers, there are other, deeper values. Let's not keep them waiting. It's time to hit the button and open London's market.
As global capital flows, supply chains, and investment priorities continue to evolve, the quality of the partnerships we build will increasingly determine the pace and scale of Africa's transformation.
Africa's digital transformation must be driven not by dependency, but by collaboration and knowledge sharing. Global governance institutions must reflect contemporary realities, including Africa's demographic and economic significance. Ladies and gentlemen, the United Kingdom has a unique opportunity to redefine its relationship with Africa for the 21st century. Beyond our historical ties, there exists today a strategic economic imperative for deeper UK-Africa engagements. Africa represents one of the world's greatest growth frontiers. And for the United Kingdom, partnership with Africa can strengthen trade diversification, investment expansion, energy transition goals, financial services, and innovation collaboration.
Mr. President, the Invest Africa family will work with your government to unlock investment, create jobs, enhance human capital, and drive economic development in Ghana. Mr. President, thank you for being here and thank you for your excellent speech this morning. Now, as many of you all know, Samaila is the President and CEO of the African Finance Corporation, one of the most entrepreneurial, fastest growing, impactful DFIs on the African continent. If I can now ask Samaila to join me on the...
We must understand the root of the cost of capital challenge that we have on the continent and address it. And to my mind, what we need to do is to change regulation that incentivizes capital to flow out of Africa and ensure that African capital can reside within Africa. The third thing for me that is important is for us as Africans to take more ownership of our development, to have more conviction that we can deliver, to look at the examples of how we are executing and to seek to replicate that at scale.
And it says pause for applause for the panel.
Lawrence, you mentioned that mining projects take decades. I want to move to financing, and the way I look at financing is three buckets. One is the early stage development of a mine until you start production. The other is the infrastructure, and the third is actually building the mine. The question to everyone is which one is most challenging? How do you manage in your own experience to raise the funds? Where are the pockets of funding that are interested in each of these pockets?
Let me end with one maybe different idea for where the African path to critical minerals could look different and actually leverages a perceived disadvantage into being one of our greatest advantages.
My name is Banji Faintola. I'm ED and Head of Financial Services at Africa Finance Corporation. First of all, our construct is such that we are a PPP, so there's private sector capital in our capital structure, plus government capital, both doing development finance. And we've always believed that no matter how big we grow, the size of the problem continues to be big and we cannot solve it alone. So we need to crowd in private capital. So every day when we are thinking, we're thinking, how do we unlock private capital? And that's global as well as domestic.
It's a beautiful speech. I love the session that you had there. Very balanced.
Thank you.
Well done. I think West Africa, well done for bringing me again.